to View from Above Tarot. This is Kag at the Treehouse, and this is the reading for Tuesday, August the 12th. This is the reading for Tuesday, August 13th, and in the video that I recorded, I said it was Tuesday, August 12th. Just a reminder, Mercury is retrograde, and communication gets really screwed up. For today, take what does resonate and leave the rest. Hopefully there will be one or two cards at least that will speak to you in some way today. So I deeply shuffled these cards before I started the video, so you didn't have to sit through all of the deep shuffling. So we have shuffled. We're going to cut, and we will lay out our reflection reading for the day. I'm using the Centennial Tarot deck, which I have nicknamed my Queen of Swords deck because it tends to be a little harsher than this deck when I read from it. Just a little more direct. Maybe harsh isn't the right word. Let's go with direct. Okay, so here is where we are this morning. And that is our friend, the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a fellow who is picking up the pieces after something has happened. And you may be any one of those people in this event, sometimes called an argument, sometimes a fight, sometimes a misunderstanding. But there are people disappointed and hurt by the outcome. And the person in charge here is picking up the pieces because we aren't going to fight about it anymore. So however that resonates for you today, This is our crossing card. Again, I don't like that word crossing, but the challenge is the Magician. And there's our friend, the Lemniscate. The other day when I did a reading, I couldn't remember what that eternity symbol was over his head, but that's what it is called, the Lemniscate. It is an algebraic form, but it does stand for eternity. And the Magician is the fellow who is able to bring into reality something that is not of this world. He can manifest something that he has a goal to take care of. And it may be that there's something that needs to manifest as a result of this conflict or this, I guess conflict would be the right word. The word war comes to mind. I don't know why that would be, but that is some kind of ongoing struggle. And as a result, able to manifest something new out of the results of what happened here. So this is a very positive card. You can look at the gold background. He's got all of the energies, all of the suits on the table there, and the white flowers as well as the red flowers. So something from the spiritual world into the world here on the earthly plane. He's able to do that. As above, so below. So some idea that needs to come out of whatever this conflict has been. The subconscious card, kind of what is the underlying thought process that needs to be in place or is in place for you, and that is the King of Swords. He's one of my favorite cards in the deck. You can see his sword here. You can see the whole sword, and he's holding it not straight up, but a little bit at an angle. Ready to defend, ready to use it, right? He's sitting solidly on his throne. Swords being the suit of logic and clarity, and this guy knows whereof he speaks. He has two birds up here. Kings are the caretakers of people and land, as well as of themselves. And he is able, with his integrity and his dignity, able to see quite clearly both sides of an issue. And so this is telling you that whatever's going on here, you may have a really great perspective of what has happened here, some clarity around both sides, and able to manifest something positive out of whatever that has been. That he is the fellow who knows the truth from both sides, is not afraid to look at both sides of an issue. I think he's a really positive card, unless unless he's on his negative side, but it feels quite positive to me this morning. So the past influences, this is something from your past. Usually a child from your past, your childhood, something that may have triggered this conflict. It could be family members, siblings, parents, something, but something related to your childhood or your past may have influenced this. This card gets a bad rap from some people as being just nostalgia. I think it's a little darker than that. We've got 6 cups here, and you've got the white flowers of, they're not the white roses, but they are white flowers. I would think of Edelweiss, perhaps, mountain flowers that are in those cups. But there's something that this younger person is giving this older person. It's interesting to me that the younger person is much bigger than the older person in this particular card. I want to say that these folks are safe. These 2 people are safe in this card because you don't see any mountains. You don't see any exits here, and you can actually see this little fellow over here. He's got a staff, and he strikes me as a guard, somebody who's guarding that past. So for me, this is a message to say, you know something. Your little self knows something that your grown-up self probably needs to know. And so that may be worth kind of investigating what this conflict was about, to say, what was the piece that your inner child knows that will help you manifest, or at least be able to see both sides of what this was about. So what is currently on our minds? The Fool. So the Fool is the 0 card, but it is the card that connects the end of the major arcana to the beginning of the major arcana. And when we have finished a cycle, we basically start off as the Fool, which is, as it depicts, he is standing at the edge of a cliff. He's got his buddy here, and he's got very little in his knapsack, and he's ready to take a journey. And the major arcana is exactly that. It is the Fool's journey through all of those cards. Carl Jung talked about the hero's journey, and that is an old archetype from the beginning of the stories that we tell. How is it that we start our journey, and how is it that we come through all of our challenges and trials to get to the end of the journey, which is the World card. So this is a very positive card from where you are, looking at what has happened here in the past and what it is you want to bring in as a result. It's a very positive card to say, yes, let's move ahead with what we need to do and learn the lessons that this next cycle is going to bring for us. So if all these energies move ahead without any change, we are looking at a transformation, the Death card. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday. Death is the card of transformation. It is the card of change. It is, and you can see how fast the Death card is moving. He's not moving very fast, right? That horse is plodding its way through the scenery here, and there are a number of other people here. There is the Pope is here, a young woman is here, a child is here, and the Emperor is here. And what that means is when transition happens, nobody stands, right? There's nothing that we can do when change happens to us. And as I said yesterday, change and transformation happens even in happy events. So this is going to be a transition of some sort that started with this conflict and has moved us through to whatever this transition is. So be gentle with yourself. Recognize that whether it's a happy one or a sad one, that grief takes its toll while we integrate the new reality into what happens on the other side of change. I'll have to make a short video about grief at some point. Not yet, but I will do one of those in the future. So if you're seeing this from the future somewhere, you should look into my Let Me Explain playlist, and there'll probably be something there about grief. I'll need to get my whiteboard fired up. Okay, so let's look at the Merriweather card for the day. and that is the High Priestess. Now, what's really significant to me as I look at this is we've got the first 3 cards, 0, 1, and 2, in this layout, which is that's really interesting. So when we talk about the hero's journey, right, the Fool has to go through interacting with all of the cards of the major arcana. And so the first one that he runs into is the Magician, which is the card of manifestation. And then he runs into the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is the intuition, right? It is the knowing deeply within you what it is that you need, what you have to move forward into. And that actually works quite nicely with the Death card, because once we've had a transformation, we have a new knowing, a new way of understanding what's going on with us. So pray, if that is a word that you use. Meditate, but there's something new that you have knowledge of. And we're not talking about brain knowledge. We are talking about right brain knowledge, left brain, right brain. Left brain talks about the executive functioning. Here's the list. Here's what we need to do. The right brain is the creative part of our knowing about how to do what it is that we need to do. This is that intuitional, that deep knowing. And sometimes you just know that that's the right thing to do, or that this is something you don't want to do. And that is something that's accessible by prayer or by meditation, or however you drop into that sort of place of inner wisdom. So as a result of whatever's happened here, it looks like it's a very positive movement forward. Consult your higher self, your inner wisdom. There's something that she has to tell you. And use that as you transform into whatever this new project, this new cycle is going to be. So as I said in the beginning, hopefully this will resonate. And if it doesn't, leave it and move on. And I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'm so appreciative of you coming to watch these readings. And I hope to see you again next time when we take another view from above here at the treehouse. Have a great day and blessings.